let's go to River State now, where the APC in that state might be in a bigger trouble, considering the history of the party in the state and in this kind of election. This is because of the judgment of the Federal High Court sitting in Port Harcourt, which nullified the primaries of the All Progressives Congress APC in that state. The court gave the decision in a suit brought before it by some aggrieved members of the party who had, during the primaries of the party, lamented exclusion during the APC primaries. Some members of the party had alleged exclusion and took protests to the state secretariat, in fact, sometimes to the street on the party activities in Port Harcourt. However, Judge Olu and 4 others who claim to have purchased nomination forms had approached the court requesting that the primaries of APC in the state be nullified following their alleged exclusion in the process. We understand that the APC in Rivers State at the moment had stopped their campaigns and looking at their options after the judgment of the court. Let's get some reactions and let's listen to the governorship candidate of the APC in Rivers State, Mr. Tonye Cole. He joins us live from Port Harcourt in Rivers State. Thank you so much, Mr. Cole, for joining us tonight. This is like thunder striking on the same spot twice. 2019, similar situation happened where your party could not field any candidate. Your party was not even far on the ballot at all in Rivers State, and yet this is happening again. How does this come to you, first and foremost?
Hello, Sean. Thank you for having me today. It's nice to be here. So 3 things you said. The first aspect of it is that this is thunder striking twice. The outcome at the Rivers State level of this case was always going to come out in this way. So it's not something that we were that concerned about. What we have looked at is to make sure that this is about the procedural effects and the law will take its course. So we're going to go to appeal, and in appeal we know that this is going to be turned over. The second thing you talked about was that there was an alleged exclusion. There was no exclusion. The party made very clear pronouncements right at the process, inviting all parties who had bought forms to come to the party secretariat to declare themselves, and these characters that filed this suit refused to show up. They did not come. Thirdly, I heard you say that we have stopped our campaigns in the state. Again, that's not true. We continue with our program. We continue doing exactly what we had set out to do, because we know that this verdict today is going to be turned over, both at the appeal court. We know it's going to go to the Supreme Court, and we trust the judgment of both the appeal court and the Supreme Court to see through the legal quagmire that this case is.
The parts that you said is not true, is not, I mean, those are not my own words. They're the words of Chief Emeka Beke, who said that on Wednesday that the party suspended its campaign that it was fixed for today. So, so if you have not suspended your campaign, have you continued? Did you hold the campaign today?
So the campaign, once the judgment came in, we knew that we had to go and file for the appeal with the appeal court. And as soon as that is done, which we began that process today, the campaign continues. We're not stopping, we're not ceasing, we're going to go all the way to the end, because we know that not only are we going to be on the ballot, we're absolutely certain that we're winning this election. And what we see essentially is something that I describe as a fear factor from the opposition that does not want to have anybody in this election but themselves. They've taken every political party to court, hoping that they'll be able to exclude everyone. It's not going to happen. We are all going to be there.
Ask you this. Procedurally, in law, sometimes stay of appeal, going to an appeal is not the same as stay of execution, because the judgment of court is the judgment of court. You have to get a stay of execution, then go ahead and file an appeal. And we've seen this play out, and this debate have gone on and on. Which one have you done? Have you obtained? You've gotten a stay of execution.
So the stay of execution and the appeal go together. So we get in the stay, we get the appeal, and then we proceed with our campaign. What we are not going to do is stop campaigning totally while we're going through an appeal. We will get a stay of execution, and then we will appeal. But if you go through the judgment here, what the judgment has done is look at the procedural effects of the process that brought the candidates out in the primaries. And that's what we will be challenging when we get to the appeal.
You've blamed the opposition, and I'd like to know which opposition you are talking about now. Is it the opposition in your party, within your party, because your party has largely been divided over the last 5 years or more, and there are being very strong factions within your party, either what you agree to or what you disagree with. But there's been obvious disagreement within your party that has caused you this much. Give us an understanding. When you say that this is coming from the opposition, which opposition? Is it internally or externally?
So there are two oppositions that we're dealing with, and currently both of them are now external. The first one was an internal opposition, which you rightly said caused us a lot of trouble. We spent the last 4 years trying to work out how we can bring peace into the party, because we agreed that a house that is divided cannot stand, and that cost us dearly in 2018. So we spent a lot of time trying to bring that house in order. At the end of the day, George Olu and all the others who had filed this case have all left. Currently, they're all in SDP, so they're now external foes. But based on everything that we have seen, these cases are often sponsored by external parties and not internal parties, and that's the second opposition that we have. These are sponsored cases that are paid for, pushed for, and driven by external forces. But we will get to that.
So now, there are a few issues here, and I'd like us to touch, because there are a number of them, like us to touch them as precisely and as pointedly as possible. Now, first being that with what has happened in your party, there are those who have argued that it was a disaster of a decision or of a move for your party to have allowed a Magnus Abe to leave your party, and he has become a major threat for the chances of your party. What's your view on your brother's, your friend Magnus Abe's defection? Now is the SDP governorship candidate. Do you think that if he had stayed, perhaps would have given your party a boost in the coming election?
No, I think at the end of the day, what we see in Rivers State today with Magnus Abe having left, myself staying in APC, and having other parties that are running in Rivers State is competition. And what democracy is all about, and this is really what we need to address, is that there must be competition so that you can always bring the best out for the people. You see, the campaigns that we're going for right now are issue-based campaigns. Long gone is the time when Nigerians would just go because of the party. Now we're looking at what issues we are bringing onto the table. And that's what makes this a difference. So today, I'm actually pleased that we have strong candidates that are now vying for the office of Rivers State, and we now address the issues for the people of Rivers State. If something is clear, Rivers State has suffered drastically over the last couple of years, because we have not dealt with issues, but rather we skirted around the issues and just dealt with strongman politics. Strongman politics is no longer the way forward. Right now, we have to deal with the issues that affect the people. So, had Magnus stayed with us, surely anybody, the more you have together, the better it is. But he had chosen to take a path of his own, and I respect that. Now that he has gone on his own, and we're very, very clear. This has made APC a much stronger party today, because we're no longer a divided party in-house. Everyone who was dividing the house has moved out, and that makes us much stronger. And we can now focus on our message, focus on the people, and deliver what they want to hear. That's what makes the difference now.
Let me, and these are some critical issues which I know your very good friend, whom a lot of people have described as your political godfather. That's a former Minister of Transportation, whom some of your friends in the APC, some of them who have now left, had said is the one who had imposed you in the process or in the system in Rivers State. And how your party had allowed your members, a lot of them that have left your party, to the point that, in fact, the spokesperson, former spokesperson of your party, is now a commissioner sitting in the cabinet of the PDP-led administration in Rivers State. Now, give us an understanding of the perception out there that the PDP has so much entrenched itself in Rivers State, so much that it will take an extraordinary situation to displace the PDP in the coming election. And in fact, the word out there is that it will take more than APC, SDP, and other party put together to be able to defeat the PDP. How strong are you on the ground?
Oh, beautiful question, and thank you very much for that question. Three things I would drive at very, very quickly. First, this election that we're coming to is a grassroots election. It's a people election, and every vote counts. The one thing that we can be sure about is that at the grassroots of Rivers State, people are fed up with the PDP. They are not as strong in the grassroots as they make out to seem. There has been, and the second thing, there has been a weaponization of poverty, and this is very, very clear. One of the things that we have seen in the last 8 years is that people have become much poorer, much hungrier, and much more desperate than ever before for a change. So we're seeing this on the grassroots, and we're happy about this because it means that we can begin to offer the people a very legitimate hope of a change. And that's where the PDP is. Now, for those who have left APC and have gone, they've gone on two reasons. The first aspect, some of it is economics, some of it is local politics. Some who were unhappy about the fact that they did not emerge as candidates have moved on, and you can understand why. Magnus being a point who has moved on, and that's fine. Another good friend of mine, George, who has moved on. Again, it's understandable. But then you have another aspect of it, which is purely economic. And the one that is economic is the one whereby you offer people money so that they can leave one party to go to another. And that is just buying people. And you have that. Now, with that aspect of politics, what you're looking at here are who believes 100% in the change that we are bringing forward. And this is where APC is much stronger now, because the people who have stayed behind have resisted very lucrative offers from the ruling party, lucrative offers, and they've resisted it because they believe 100% in the change that is coming. They are no longer looking at themselves and saying that what is good for, what can I benefit materially or financially? What they're looking at now is what can we do that will change the landscape for our people as a whole so that we do not have to beg tomorrow. And those are the people that I'm proud to stand by. Those are the people I see in APC today, and I am happy with them.
Now, let's get to one of the points that I raised, which perhaps you did not touch, is the factor of Rotimi Amaechi. For those in your party that have criticized him, they said, he's your political godfather. He's imposed you onto the system. And that is one of the reasons why your party is largely divided. How do you react to that?
Okay, so 4 years ago, that was a political statement that was made, and it was used as an excuse to cause the fight that divided us and caused us to be off the ballot. Now, that was 4 years ago. A lot has changed in 4 years. First, people expected that I was going to disappear, I wasn't going to be there anymore, I'm not going to be in politics. But this time around, we had a very competitive process that brought me out. I wasn't going anywhere. I chose to remain. I've chosen to give 20 years of my life to politics. I've chosen to serve the people, and I've chosen to be different. And so what happened this time around was that we competed aggressively for this position. And I came out of it. I came out of it through a very competitive internal process. There's nobody in APC today that will say that I was imposed on them because they know how competitive it was. Now I'm out. I'm out there and I'm running for governor, and APC is rallying around me to bring it forward. To Rotimi Amaechi, he has been very, very quiet. And the reason why is that he has said to us that the last time he was speaking, they said he was imposing, he was speaking, they said that he came forward, he's a very forceful, very, very, very forceful character, and people use that against him. This time around, he has said, take this campaign, run with this campaign, and let the best man come out of the campaign. And we competed internally because he allowed all of us to compete. Dakuku Peter Side competed, Tonye Prince-Will competed, Dawari George competed, Ujukai competed, myself, I competed, Michael West competed. There were at least 15 of us who competed for this position. And I came out, nobody can blame Amechi for imposing anyone this time around. I came out of this process through a hard-fought competitive arrangement. So we've passed that stage. Right now, we're in another phase of competition. That is with the PDP and SDP.
Let me jump in quickly, and perhaps my question before the last, before we wrap up our conversation with you, and those who have analyzed Rivers politics to say, Amechi is not going to be on the ballot. Wike is not going to be on the ballot. But invariably, these two political giants in Rivers State will go head-to-head on the ground. They might not be the face in the ballot, but they are their hands on the shoulders of the ticket holders in APC and in the PDP. With what has happened in the last 8 years in Rivers State, how do you hope to be able to displace a Wike and a PDP in Rivers State? What tactics are you employing?
No, very simple. First, you have to connect with the people emotionally, and you have to connect with them where they know that you are for them. So the one thing that I'm clear about, Rivers State is very, very divisive. When you are PDP and you hate absolutely everybody who is not. If you are in APC, you don't want anybody else to be with you. I've chosen, and APC has chosen a very different path. What we are today is that we're a government that represents the people of Rivers State. It doesn't matter whether you are APC, PDP, SDP, we will represent you, we will win for you, we will fight for you. And that's one thing that is different. We know that up until now, if you do not belong to a political party, you cannot benefit anything from that state. And this is why we have become such a poor state, very rich in resources, but very poor in human capital development, very poor in welfare, very poor in so many ways. And we need to change this. So what are we dealing with? For me, I'm dealing with connecting with the people emotionally and allowing them to understand that we have brought a change of message to their lives and a change of governance. Impunity is out of the window. Here we are dealing with them, and that's how we're going to defeat the PDP. We will defeat them because the people are going to see something different, not the hardman tactics that we use, not the everybody must be crushed except you stand with us, but one that says that we are for the people and we will work for them to ensure that they have a government that thinks for them.
Well, we need to wrap up now. Just in 20 seconds, if you may answer this question. If this is not, if you are not able to take it this time around, if you are not able to win, what would you do? Will it be the end of your ambition as being of wanting to become governor in Rivers State?
I have given 20 years of my life to this. I am here. No one is sending me anywhere. We will stand here until we get the kind of government that respects law and order, that respects peace and security, and respects the people to drive development for them, for the people. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. Nigerian politics must change for the better. And that's what
if the Court of Appeal judgment does not go in your favor, that means that, again, APC might not be on the ballot. It's a two-way thing. It might go in your favor, it might not go.
Agreed. And like I said, if it does not go in our favor, we'll go to the Supreme Court. If it doesn't go in our favor in the Supreme Court, we'll continue to fight. You see, at the end of the day, politics must change in Nigeria. Politics must change for the people and not just for the politicians. We must bring a different kind of politics, and that's why I'm here. I'm here to make sure that for the rest of my life, we fight to see a politics that respects the people, respects their views, respects their votes, and will make the change.
Tonye Cole, governorship candidate of the APC, albeit amidst all of these legal troubles in its party. Thank you so much indeed for talking to us tonight. I appreciate it. But you need to come back so that we can talk about your plans. Let's see how your legal battles go, and I hope that you come out victorious.
Thank you.
All the best. Tonye, thank you so much.
I know we will.